Hello there. Today we're in JB and we're going to review the Fujifilm X-T10. Awesome. Awesome possum. Bye. So the people here don't realize it, but I'm using the electronic shutter to shoot pretty sneakily. It's just not to impede on their privacy or anything, and I'm making sure that I'm not photographing them in any controversial way. But it's better to not really disturb anyone with this shutter sound. So I put it on electronic shutter. I'm going to cross the road. Do not follow me. Focus, bang. Focus, bang. Nice. Beep, boom. There's this guy chilling under the tree right here. Gotta go fast. Honestly, there's nothing going on right now. If you can look around. I mean, really, it's Saturday morning, yeah, but I would have thought that at least the shops will be open. So I found a Wi-Fi building. Look at that. Look at that. Wi-Fi. Woohoo. Wait, oh, yeah. Okay, look at the birds. They're forming a line, which to me means unity. And, you know, we as Malaysians need to learn from the birds. You know, we got to learn to line up. And we got to learn to sit side by side, even when the going gets tough, even in high places or low places, man. I mean, you got to be the birds. Be the birds. I want to be a bird. So I'm trying to shoot these birds right now, and as I said, I'm on aperture priority, which is at f8. And right now, the settings are showing 1,600th of a second, 1,700th, and that's not that nice because it causes the birds to be very, very underexposed. And I think it's just guessing due to the overcast and very good, very, very high highlights up there, so it's metering towards the light more. Oh my God, guys, look at that. It's a monopod. Monopod. This is very ingenious. Let's take a photo of that. And yes, I look like a real full-fledged tourist by just looking at the screen, but the screen is really, really nice. So I don't know if this is scary or this is just what it does, but the camera is actually detecting this kid's face. It's just kind of weird, but at the same time kind of cool, because it recognizes this kid as a kid. So I'm gonna stand here for a while and wait for people to walk through because I wanted to try out the continuous autofocus. and let's see what happens. Nice. Trapped. And I said, "Oh, stay, stay. Like for real, bro." Have you ever been in a construction site? So there's this one restaurant in JB where there's always like a huge line. I don't know why. Maybe let's ask around. So enjoy your lunch. Yeah. All right, thank you. Okay. Yes, I found out why. Yes, why the restaurant is so popular. It's because of the fish head curry. So here are my thoughts on the Fujifilm X-T10. Right off the bat, the X-T10 did really well for things that I used it for, which was mainly everyday shooting and street photography. The operations were substantially less fiddly than some other mirrorless cameras, and the dedicated shutter dial and on-lens aperture ring made controls much more convenient. I think that a top selling point of the X-T10 is its compact, uniformly linear shape. I mean, there aren't any stray curves, and it fits really nicely in most hand carries, especially with the 27mm f2.8 pancake lens, which I mostly used. Focusing was really good in good light, but suffered in low light or in areas with less contrast. And this is actually one of the shared traits among mirrorless cameras right now. The images it produced were just undoubtedly beautiful. I mean, the colors were rendered really nicely, and when I processed them in Lightroom, I mean, they just really popped out of the screen. One of the best things about the camera is the image quality, and it is the same as the well-known superb image quality of the X-T1. The Wi-Fi capability of both these cameras are also very awesome. I mean, I do hope that more manufacturers include it in their upcoming cameras, because the ability to just instantly import, process, and share photos on my smartphone meant that I could constantly update my social media with much better photographs. And that being said, the Fujifilm X-T10 is in fact a much cheaper, maybe not much, but definitely a cheaper option with not much trade-off when compared to the X-T1. The main differences are the lack of weather sealing, a smaller viewfinder, and the absence of a dedicated ISO dial, most of which aren't that noticeable, especially with among people who don't really need those things. I mean, you still get the awesome image quality, the smooth functionality, and with an added bonus of more portability. Now, it isn't all good. I mean, of course, every camera isn't perfect. The video quality is still very bad, and I mean, it's a good thing that Fujifilm actually realizes this. I mean, the camera does 1080p at 60 FPS, but I really wouldn't rely on it on any sort of video production. The biggest downside, though, of the X-T10 is the very loose front and rear dials. It was super easy and super frustrating because I constantly accidentally adjusted the settings, and I found that my settings were off a lot of times, and I had to constantly retake shots because of it. And other than that, I mean, the flash too isn't very usable. It was too small and doesn't even have commander mode, which I always use to sync with my speed lights. All in all, the Fujifilm X-T10 is an excellent little camera.